All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
I want to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to all the Akim out there pushing the word of sincerity and in truth. It's the brothers here from Great Millstone, Atlanta. You know, we have a lesson going into don't complain about the path, walk it. This is a walk of faith. It's a walk of tribulation, a walk of endurance. And hardships is going to come along this path to salvation. But this isn't a thing where you got to where you hold your head. As it is written, lift up the feeble knees, man. You can't be walking, hanging your head on nobody knows. Nah, man, you gotta keep your head up in this walk. Now, of course, in the scriptures, you had men of the Lord examples given, Job and various other men that were complaining continually. They complained to the Lord. And it's as it is written too that the righteous complains continually. So you always are gonna voice your griefs, in the hell in this path. But after that, you got to keep it pushing, man. This isn't a thing where you wear your emotions on your sleeve, man. You have to fortify your mind. You have to have that that endurance-based mentality. You have to walk as a leader, as a general, as a captain. On the battlefield. You watch these military movies, you see that these different men, they in the cusp of a battle, bombs is being blown up all around them, but they're not sighing, they're not showing signs of grief. It might be a man right beside him just got his leg blown off, man. And they don't show or shed any emotions nor tears in the midst of the battle. Why? Because the battle is still to be fought.
That's right.
And victory is to be obtained.
That's right.
So what is crying and doing all that gonna help? The enemy doesn't give a fuck about your tears, man. He wants you to cry. He wants you to break down. That weakens the morale of the unit, and that's easy access to destroy the military, so to speak, whatever military opposition that they're coming against.
Yep.
So
your mind not slacking.
No, you got it, bro.
Your mind not focused on what's at hand. It's throwing off track, so to speak.
Yep.
You got it, bro.
Yep, easily thrown off track. So this is just something for brothers to walk this path and fulfill everything that's required of you. If you're a brother that has a high duty in the spirit of the Lord, fulfill it, as it is written, to whom much is given, much is required. So we're gonna jump into scriptures.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 7, and I'll start at the top. It says, "And when I had made an end of speaking these words, there was sent unto me the angel which had been sent unto me the nights before. And he said unto me, Up, Ezra, and hear the words that I am come to tell thee."
And if I'm not mistaken, that angel was Uriel. Yep. Okay.
And it says, verse 3, it says, "And I said, Speak on, my power. Then said he unto me, The sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the case, the entrance were narrow, and like a river. Who then could go into the sea to look upon it, and to rule it?
Yep.
If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad?"
So it says, if he went not through the narrow, how then could he come into the broad? You could continue a little bit more on that.
Verse 6, it says, "There is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, that is full of all good things."
And what's that city that's built and that's full of all good things? The kingdom of heaven. So we actually have the vision of the beauty that awaits us if we fulfill this goal. But we have to walk and go through the hardships, man. We have to go through the straight gate, which the word straight is STRAIT, which is a petition of difficulty. Because whenever you're going through something that's a straight gate, hell awaits it, man.
Yep.
It's all kind of peril. It's all kind of turmoil, so to speak. All kind of perdition that is looming on the path that's set up as a setting, so to speak. And it's pre-designed for individuals with weak mentalities to fall off, man. That's how you know that this thing is strictly given for the elect's sake, because the elect will not fall off. If you're a man that's crept in unawares, you think you're just gonna slither into the kingdom of heaven, slip and slide in, it's not gonna work that way.
You gotta have that faith.
You gotta have that faith.
The Scripture say whoever put their trust in the Lord and was confounded.
Mm-hmm.
And so you got to believe the same thing with your walk as well, man.
That's right.
You know, you got to believe that, hey, I'm going to step out here, and of course, Satan is going to come. Hey, but that don't mean that we can't defeat Satan. Like the brother here in our camp, Abba always says, hey, we can defeat Satan, man. We can't have that scary spirit of you don't want to step outside because Satan out there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we can conquer that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Just got to be spiritual. You got to be vigilant.
Yep, you got to be vigilant. You got to be rooted upon the rudiments, so to speak, or the elements of this truth.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be circumspect. And you have to always realize that you got a power that's on your side that you could depend on through every point in this walk.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you have counsel. That's why you have wise words that men already went through before you, that actually gave you full insight on what lays weight on certain paths, man. What's the path of life, as it is written? The word is coming, the issues of life, and what awaits the path of death, which is worldly things, the love of money, the love and lust of and the hunger for women, and riches, and all these different things that leads to death. But if you want to enter into life, it's certain things that's required of you to actually go through before you actually reach and receive that the blessings that come with the path. And that's what Ezra is going through with Uriel, and that's the vision that Uriel was actually expounding onto him through the Spirit. You can continue though.
It says, a city is built and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water.
And you got plenty of men that fell in either or, man. A lot of men fell in the fire. You had a lot of men that fell in the water. By what? They deviated.
Yep.
They got caught by the woman in the red dress. They seen the allures and the flashing lights of America.
Yep. Lack of patience.
Lack of patience.
Faith. Understanding.
Yep. Hey, what does Scripture speak about? He that committed adultery, lack of understanding. And that's the way that you get caught up. That's why it tells you in Proverbs, the 7th chapter, about the foolish young simp. Hey, basically Solomon called him a simp. He said one of the simple ones.
Yeah.
He got shot with a dart.
Yep.
And that's that's a precursor to a lot of men, even in the spirit, that's being caught by the fornications of this whore here in America, man. Because it's a lot of men that came in the truth. A lot of them got caught up with the year 2000 thing. A lot of them, got caught up various means. They got offended.
Yeah. Apostle Tahar, I think he said it was thousands of men who fell out of the year 2000 thing.
Thousands. Because they stopped believing. And it tells you that in Hebrews, the 4th chapter, you got to always stay in the spirit of the Lord so that your, belief don't get overthrown, man. But you continue on that.
It's verse 8. It says, and only one path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once.
Yeah, so small so that there and one man can go in at a time, man. It's very, very slim. And that means that even while you're on this path, that you're walking a tightrope. You're walking on eggshells. So you have to be very careful. Any false or naive decision can end your life. Matter of fact, I'll get this real fast. In Sirach, the 13th chapter.
If I could just say,
too, you got it, bro.
Just through the spirit, man, we really spiritual gymnastics, man. Walking on that balance beam, man, not falling off, being able to keep that good balance, man. It says Proverbs 11:1, man.
Yeah. And just like when you are in the gymnastics, the first thing you have to learn is footwork, man. You have to learn footwork, balance.
Yeah. You
got to learn the
core.
You have to have an excellent core. Which is indicative even in its truth. And indicated that you got to be in the core of the spirit.
Yep.
which is the basics, the rooting planting system. Like when you're dealing with rooting on earth, that's the core of the tree. The core of the tree is really the bottom, because that's what keeps everything stable. That's what keeps everything attached. So even when you're dealing with gymnastics, you have to have, like the brother said, you have to have a good core. You have to be very flexible. That's why they tell you to stretch. Make sure that your muscles are very limber. So when you're actually on that balance beam, and you're gonna fall down. That's the thing about it when you're on that balance beam. When you first start,
Yep.
you're not gonna be a master balancer. You have to learn balance. That's why sometimes they have their arms out for proper equilibrium.
Yep.
And then it comes to the point where they basically on that balance beam, it's like second nature to them.
Yep.
And you'll see men like the apostles and elders, how great balance they have. We not on that level, man. You'll see those gymnasts, they'll be on that balance beam, fucking hitting front flip, back flips,
Yeah. Spinning in the air.
spinning in the air, and
Landing in the same spot from where they just
landing in the exact same spot, and they get hella points for that type of. That's the apostles and elders, and you'll think that you could get on there and do the exact same thing, man. That type of level takes time.
skill.
It takes skill. Or you'll watch certain videos on different people that jump off of the top of the pool. What's that position?
Diving.
Yeah. When they are at the top and they got to hit the different flips. I forget the sport, the name of the sport. But you look at that, you be like, man, I could do that shit too.
Like a diving board.
Yeah, professional divers.
Yeah.
You'll see them doing all them flips. You like, man, I could do that same shit. Your ass get up there, damn near finna break your neck.
Yep.
Smack the goddamn, smack the hell out that water.
They don't
man.
even make a splash.
Yeah, they don't even make it. Yep. They'll just slide in.
Yeah, they slide in.
Seem like the water didn't even fizzle.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of balance. It takes harmony within the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shah, like the brother said, the core. All these things, and the core represents the body. You being in the midst of the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shah at all times, knowing the pulse of the brotherhood, know what's going on as far as prophecies, as far as all these things goes, and always enduring. Because with endurance is a great core. Like you'll see even with individuals with boxing and things of that nature. In order to have a good core, a lot of times they'll do body shots. They'll do certain things to make sure that their body is is structured to the point that they could take a hit. That's why they do what sparring. They get in the whether it's the octagon or the boxing ring, and they'll spar. They'll spar and they'll get coached while they're sparring so that they know how to take a hit. They know how to duck. They're good with evasiveness. They have good stamina. They have great conditioning, breathing while they are simultaneously throwing punches, learning the proper footwork, and then of course that's when the bouts take place after constantly recycling the fundamentals, and it's the same thing in this truth. That's why the fundamentals is so important. All right, and I'm gonna read this because this is a reason why men fall off due to lack of actually embracing fundamentals and trying to jump in the danger zone. This is Sirach 13:13. Observe and take good heed, for thou walkest in peril of thy overthrowing. When thou hearest these things, awake in thy sleep. So the scripture says, observe and take good heed. You have to be very analytical. You have to know what elements that you're fighting, because there's demons out here that's bigger and badder than you, man.
You gotta be coachable.
You have to be wise. You have to be open-minded to the wisdom of Yahweh Shema Shah, closed-minded to the wisdom of this world.
Yep.
Knowing bait, because there's a lot of bait out here, man.
Yep.
You got a lot of rattlesnakes. You got a lot of different, like this is like the animal kingdom, man. You got certain animals that know how to bait you in through sounds, man.
Yeah.
Through the alluring of the enchanting of the voice. Hey, like these women, man. These women are great at that. They have a great skill with getting Jake brought into their essence.
That's why known in the scriptures as snares or traps.
Snares and nets, yeah.
Nets.
Because even when you're dealing with snares and nets and bait, you have to. The bait ain't shit until you get somebody brought into the environment and caught by the bait. That's why a lot of times they'll set up cages and they'll have something that the animal likes, something that excites the senses of the animal. You know, the taste buds. Maybe like if it's you trying to catch a rabbit or something, you're gonna get some type of prey that the rabbit think this is the easy catch, and they get in and now they ask is this cage, man, and that's something spiritual too. Hey, everything that seems easy, man, it got a catch to it, man. Always what? That's why you got to be observant.
Yep, circumspect.
Circumspect. Don't think, oh man, Lord done got me, just set me up for this one.
Yep.
Now sometimes the Lord does bring certain things through your way, but you always have to be cognizant of everything in your path, man. Just like if you walk, in the path.
Yep.
Going back to the bait, some individuals will walk a path, and you have bait that's designed to be there to see if you're gonna fall through naiveness or you're gonna fall through wisdom. Here it is, you in the middle of the desert, and you walking and you see some goddamn a case of water. Like how the fuck that? Who the hell left a case of water in the middle of the desert? And Jake be like, man, I knew I had a mirage about that case of water. This the real fucking deal.
You got frost falling off of it.
Yeah,
like bro, you in the middle of the desert.
It's like you in the middle of how the hell frost even on it? Knowing you should already have recognized. All right, this must have been planted, man. This shit is ice cold. Here it is. The damn water bottles look like they thawing out in the middle of the desert. Obviously somebody placed it. So what do? You go around it, man. But you'll have a simple one, leap straight into the water. Next thing you know, his ass getting caught, man.
All right, appreciate it.
You got it.
It's Zephaniah 1:12. It says, and it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their lees, that say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil.
Yeah, so these guys that believe that the Most High is oblivious, that he doesn't actually have any part or narration in your life, or the narration of what the conditions of the world is going through right now. That's why the Lord is going to search Jerusalem with lights, man. And it starts with you actually waking up to the light yourself and walking with that light in your hand. What is it called with these individuals? They hold the light. I forget the exact term.
Yeah.
Light bearers. Tells you that in Baruch the 4th chapter. We're spiritual light bearers in this thing, man. Because we're on a dark path. Going back to the path that Ezra speaks about. And if the Most High searching Jerusalem with candlesticks, which is the light, and you already hold the light within yourself, then light it's already gonna be recognized.
It's gonna be joined together.
It's gonna be joined together. The Lord's light will complement your light.
Yeah.
But if you walking on in darkness, because in most cases, if you in darkness, you trying to do something hidden, man. Trying to do something behind the scenes, thinking nobody gonna catch your ass.
Yep.
What it say? The Lord's eyes is 10 times brighter than the sun.
Yeah.
Beholding the ways of men. And when the Lord put them high beams on you, and search you out, see with your pants down, you're gonna get jacked up. But Jake think, oh, I could do this because the Lord he ain't gonna do good nor evil.
Yeah.
They think the Most High delaying is coming. But the Lord is gonna come as what? As a thief in the night.
Yep.
That's why right now this is the training ground, man. We in the foxholes in the spirit. We're doing the grunt work. We're getting dirty. You know, the hardships is coming. More hell and peril is bound to take place in our personal lives, and even against the camp on the whole. But we have to be in the spirit at all times. You know, this isn't just a two day a week thing. All right, I'm gonna be a Israelite on Saturday, and Sunday I know
Sunday I'm gonna just chill.
Yes, Sunday I'm gonna chill. You know, and then Monday through Friday I could be a big boy nigga.
Yeah.
And I know I got enough time where I could just take that nigga off. You know, pray to and repent to the Lord and be an Israelite again. Nah, man. Stop playing with the Lord. No, take this thing serious. And it's for these guys that don't take it serious. You know, that think that being lukewarm is the way. I'm not gonna be hot and I'm not gonna be cold. Let me just get in, sit in where I fit in. Nah, man. We gotta be on the front lines with this thing. Like the apostles first and foremost. That's the vanguards of this truth. You know, taking everything that comes with the territory of this truth. Even this whole thing with the CNN and the Israelites. If they pointing at Great Millstone, they're not gonna just be pointing at any brother. They're gonna be pointing at the leaders, man. So when things actually hit the fan, it's gonna hit, and it's gonna hit hard. We just gotta react the right way when these things hit. Some more.
No, that was it on that.
Okay.
I had that Matthew if you want to go into that.
You get that, Matthew.
Fine. This is Matthew 7:13. It says, enter, so I can, because I had
You got it, bro.
It's Matthew 7:13. It says, enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way.
Yeah, and Yahweh Shai is speaking about that same gate that Ezra was speaking about. And he said, for wide is the gate, you know, and as the brother continues, it speaks about how many
Linear of the word straight. And it says stenos, and it says, I'm gonna just get the Strongs. It says narrow. It says from obstacles standing close about.
So narrow from obstacles standing close about. So it's gonna, it's all kind of things that's set up to impede you on your walk. And if you keep running in the same thing, more than likely you need to change it. That's the definition of insanity. Because even in this walk, you could glitch. You could glitch in the truth. You'll have the knowledge and you'll know the scriptures, but you ain't going. Why? Because it's something that's pulling you down in the spirit, and you fully haven't recognized it. It might be your woman, you know, it might be a job, certain things that just throwing your whole wave off. And if you keep doing the same thing over and it might be drinking. You might have you know, every time you drink, you just lethargic.
Yeah.
And you
can't, you know how to tame your spirit. You
can't
just
tame,
all out there, brothers looking at you funny, like, man, like, bro, you gotta stop drinking, man. But every time you see, you got a drink in your hand.
Yeah, you got a fucking cup in your hand, like an old nigga, man. And you wonder why you are falling short. You got all kind of demons in your mind and stuff. You got envy. You know, you jealous of brothers' progression and things of that nature. You know, you don't know how to combat demons that's jumping in your mind because you ain't studying as much, because you always involved with drinking. And when you drinking, it gets you tired and you just want to sleep after. You don't want to study. So you turn into a big boy sloth, man.
Yeah. Big boy alcoholic.
A big boy alcoholic sloth. And you just sluggish as all hell. That's a bad combination, because demons bring other spirits, man. It's alcohol consumption over intake and alcohol comes spirits, man.
Yeah, that's why they call it the store spirits. And you look at certain alcohol liquor spots, it got spirits on it.
Yeah, got all kind of fucking. They got double-headed snakes on the front of the bottle.
Yeah.
Hey, that's why you got to be balanced with everything, man. This truth, dealing with the walk and dealing with that balance, man. Everything takes balance. How you drink should be balanced. How you eat should be balanced. You know, just how you live as a man of the Lord should be balanced. How you you know, how you perform in your certain environment.
Yeah.
How much you go out should be balanced. You shouldn't be no day a week get out Jake, man.
Going out like you a rapper.
Yeah, going out like you the next mogul. You trying to be the next Atlanta icon.
Yeah.
You know, or whatever state you in. You know, you trying to. You here it is. You going out more than some celebrities, man.
Promoting clubs.
Promoting clubs and all this fuck shit. Excuse my French, but that's just the real of it. And then you get caught. You get caught by these evil spirits.
Next thing you know, you walking in that fire or in that water.
And next thing you know, the Lord got a block button on you. You can't even get in the spirit. You trying to read, and everything is going over your goddamn head.
Yeah.
Or you can't retain the knowledge. Your phone is always buzzing. It's always some new nigga. It's always somebody on your. And I'm not talking about brothers. I'm talking about niggas in the world. Or all goddamn women. You trying to balance 7, 8 women, as well as the truth. But you wonder why your balance ain't good, because your phone always goddamn ringing, and you dealing with all these emotions of these women. Next thing you know, them emotions is attaching to you, and you done turn into a full-fledged goddamn mangina, man. Now when brothers telling you to stay on point in the spirit, and they hunkering down on you, you getting offended. Now you smacking your lips, rolling your eyes. Now you don't want to serve the Lord no more. All off of those small things, man. Them demons. That's how evil spirits work, and that's many. That's one example or a few examples of many, man. You got it, bro.
I'll reread it from the top. It's Matthew 7:13. Enter ye in at straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be Salakia, and many there be which go in thereat, because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life.
And so straight in the gate is narrow is the way that leadeth to life. So we know that this world is designed for many to die. You get 2 Ezra 8:1.
God, and the scripture say, many are few are chosen.
Many are called, but few are chosen. And that's that should your spirit on the whole, man. Knowing that there's a lot of people that's not designed to get to the finish line, man. This finish line, when we hit the finish line, the crowns is already designed for who heads they're going to be on. The 144 and 1/3, the predestination, it's already said who's going to be who. Now we don't know if we those men in the spirit. We hope so. You know, we're prisoners of hope. You know, and we're trying to walk and do that which is required, as written in Peter's. You know, add to your serve for charity, all these good attributes and characteristics. And it says, if you do these things, it make where you abound, and neither are barren in the knowledge of Yahweh Shema Shai. So we try our best of our ability, you know, to fulfill, you know, but we don't know. That's why we do these things, man. And if we continue, that's called and that do that which is required, we will be the chosen. You know, starting off with the apostles and elders on down.
That's right. Then 1, and he answered me, saying, the Most High hath made this world for many, but the world come to few. Salaki, but the world to come for few.
Yeah, so this world is designed for many. You know, it's easy to be a successful nigga here. You know, it's easy to be one of the greatest, so to speak. You know, everybody has some lot here. You know, and everybody's the wickeder you are, the more entertained, more people are entertained by you. The more people attract to you. But people are in righteousness. That's why it tells you that in Hosea the 4th chapter, there's no truth in the land. But the kingdom of heaven, when it's going to be set up, it's only a few that's going to be the ones that's able to receive the clearance, you know, the spiritual VIP to that position, the ones that's joint heirs.
That's why, if I could say, that's why Yahweh Hashem Yahushua told us to remove ourselves from the world, man. Because this particular world is not for us, man. We don't fit in here.
Yeah,
you know,
and
we're
this
outsiders, outcasts.
Outcasts. Yeah, and this world is entertaining. It's very alluring, man. That's why Jake get caught up, because Jake like having fun. And what man in his right mind, you know, doesn't want to have a big booty woman. You know, you want success. You want these different things. You want to look good. You want to feel good about yourself. The scripture tells you in Ecclesiastes that princes shall eat in due season. This ain't the season for us to eat. This is the season for us to be fellow yokemen and to push out the spirit of the Lord and push out these prophecies, man.
That's right. And
the reward will be all these things that the Lord already put after the contractual agreement is fulfilled. Because we're under contract. This word is still living. If you put your hand to the plow, you under a contract. That's You're right. bound by these words to teach until the end. And no hiatuses, no signing out and signing back in whenever you feel. No, you're required to push this truth, man.
That's right.
Until the end. And then it says, he that endureth until the end, the same shall be saved. You see?
Verse 2, I will tell thee a similitude, Esdras, as when thou askest the earth, it shall say unto thee that it giveth much mold.
Oh, that's Ezra 8 and 2. That's really the main point.
Yeah, I think
I got something though. You done with the other scripture?
Yeah, kind of was it on Matthew.
Okay, I'm gonna get this real fast. This 2 Corinthians 7 and 6 says, nevertheless, matter of fact, I'm gonna read 25.
I'll read it for you.
Okay, second Corinthians 11 and 23.
All right, this 2 Corinthians 11 and 23. It says, are they ministers of Yahweh Shah? I speak as a fool. So I lost my place.
Okay,
it says, I speak as a fool. I am more, and labors more abundant, and stripes above measures, and prisons more frequent, and deaths oft.
Yeah, deaths often. Because Paul, in this walk, he had to catch a lot of hell, man. From the time of Acts, when you read, when he woke up to the knowledge, when he got kicked off the horse in Damascus, and he was blind for the space of 3 days, until the end of his ministry, he caught hell, man. It was hard for him, you know, but he believed. He believed on Yahushua, and he did everything that was required to make sure that the word was pushed out. That's why it was abundance of letters. Majority of the New Testament is letters from Paul. You know, from Romans all the way to, I don't want to quote it wrong. If I'm not mistaken, all the way to Hebrews. Yep, all the way to Hebrews is letters through Paul, because he believed heavily on Yahushua. And through that path, it was all kind of hell. He got bit by snakes. He got beat to death. He had 40 plus men that was willing to not eat nor drink till they slayed Paul. Amongst more, you know, all kind of, he got imprisoned. You know, he speaks about, you know, more things. What he said, the stripes. You could continue on that, yeah, because he got beat.
Verse 24. Of the Jews 5 times received I 40 stripes, save one. Thrice I was beaten with rods.
3 times, which is, yeah, thrice. Thrice was I beaten with rods.
Once was I stoned.
Once was I stoned.
Thrice I suffered shipwreck.
3 times he suffered shipwreck. And you read that around the time, at the end of Acts, you know, I think when he suffered shipwreck, the island and the barbarians was amongst them. That's when he got bit by the snake, and he shook the snake off like it wasn't nothing, and they was in awe. They knew the spirit of the Lord rested upon him. But while he was there, it wasn't a easy task for him to go through those things, man. It was hard, but he had a hell of a lot of faith, and it tells you in Philippians that through his faith, it made men more bold to walk this path, like us. When we read about Paul, which we haven't went through these things, man. We haven't went through Yahushua. We're suffering as servants of Yahushua, but we haven't measured up to the levels of suffering that these men have truly suffered. You know, like Paul, all these beatings and things. You know, because they got beat to death and woke back up from that beating.
Been
shipwrecked 3 times. You know. So, you know, we read these things and it gives us levels of faith, confidence. So when these things may happen, because we're gonna have to suffer.
Yeah.
You know, the suffering levels is gonna upgrade because our spirits are gonna upgrade. You know, it speaks about in Revelations the beheading of the souls of those that witness for Yahushua. You know, all kind of prisons. It speaks about how certain men are gonna be in prison. But we have to remember these things that our forefathers went through.
Yeah.
Like John. John was on the island of Patmos. He was in prison when he was writing those letters.
Yeah.
You know?
Prophets went through some things, man.
Yep.
Jonah.
Got
Moses.
Yep.
You know.
Moses.
Paul.
Yep.
You know.
David.
Yeah, David. The lion's den.
Yep. Jeremiah, he got thrown in prison. All these men, you know, James, John, everybody that has a book, you know, they had to have a heavy testimony. Because who want to just read about somebody that didn't go through nothing,
right.
Like, to be honest.
Right.
You know, through the Spirit, you have to go through things so people will really receive your words, really be emotionally tied into what you went through.
Have a respect for your story.
Have a respect for your story. You know, Abraham, faithful Abraham, all these men, they wasn't just just think about reading about just Moses in Pharaoh's kingdom, just living it up.
Right.
He just kicking it, and it's like that. What would be the point of the book of Exodus?
Right.
The Exodus is about leaving Pharaoh's house.
The exodus of Egypt.
The Exodus of Egypt. You know, that would have been like the fulfillment of Egypt, him just fulfilling himself in Egypt. But it was the Exodus, him breaking himself out of the bondage of Egypt, so to speak, the house of Pharaoh, and freeing the multitude of Israelites and bringing them to the promised land. That's what makes that book so spectacular.
Yeah.
You know, but you can continue.
Verse 20, it says, a night and a day I have been in the deep, in journeyings, often in perils of waters, in perils of robbers.
Yeah, perils of robbers, men trying to, stick up kids back then, looters, pirates, so to speak, trying to steal him for his goods, get him for his goods. And, he ain't no telling how these situations went. I know he most definitely used wisdom when he was in these situations. because he knew that, you know, these things was you know, against him, so to speak. Like when David had to flee, he actually went to the land of the Philistines, and he had to use a high level of wisdom to turn that energy down on those Philistines. He played crazy. You know, let's say he was foaming at the mouth. Then eventually he got, you know, pretty straight with the Philistines and ended up warring with the Philistines. Why? Because he was utilizing max amount of wisdom, you know, when he was on the run. But you continue.
It says, in perils by my own countrymen, in perils by the heathen, in perils in the city, in perils in the wilderness, in perils in the sea, in perils among false brethren.
Perils amongst false brethren, which he spoke about Hymenaeus and Philetus, you know, the individuals that, you know, forsook him in the spirit. It was Alexander the coppersmith, when he said, Alexander did me much evil. So it was plenty of men that even was amongst them that, you know, were niggas, man. Probably was speaking ill about Paul. That's why he said he did me much evil. The Lord reward him according to his works. You know, some men that he had love for just fell off, but he continued on the path. Certain men that he actually had close spiritual friendships with were sickly, you know, and he didn't want to deal with the burdens of you know, them men, you know, basically passing amongst them. So he had to bear that. It was other things that he bear, like even us in the faith. You know, that's why these words are so powerful. Like Job, when you read about it, it should build your faith. Like, man, you know, I could get through what I'm getting through. You know, the hell that I'm going through, I know that if I believe in Yahweh Shema Shah, Yahweh Shema Shah will pave the way for me. He'll make the way for me to walk through, because he did it for these men. And these men trusted in him, and I believe and I trust in him also. You continue.
John, it says, in weariness and painfulness and watchings often, and hunger and thirst.
And hunger and thirst, times where he, you know, may have missed a meal or some meals. You know, no water.
It says, in fastings often, in cold and nakedness, besides those things that are without, that which cometh upon me daily, the care of all the churches.
So the things he also had to deal with the churches. What he spoke about, how he had continual sorrow in his heart when you read Romans the 11th chapter, you know, because he still was dealing with the burdens of Yahweh Shai, you know, and what Yahweh Shai had to go through in his time, that weighed on his spirit. The hell of, you know, the Roman government coming down on him, the kings and leaders during that time, all making it where Paul was a wanted man, and as well as fellow men that was Israelites, men of his own stock, actually hating his guts, willing to sell him out to get him killed. So that's a hard path, man. But you know, so when we read these scriptures of the straits, you know, it gets tough. You know, and every brother has a particular path. Some brothers' paths are tougher than others, but that means you're a tough brother. That means you have mental strength to endure it. Don't look at your path and be like, why the hell I'm this hell and this brother
ain't catching nothing,
and he ain't catching nothing or as much hell, because you can't say that no man's not catching no hell. You know, you don't know what's a brother's internalizing, what a brother went through, you know. But that's why, you know, you got to just chunk it up, man. Take everything on the chin. What you going through is a testimony, because at the end of the day, when everything is fulfilled, we're gonna all have our own personal testimonies through the Spirit. You know, Yahweh Shai, you might have the book of Great Millstone, New York. You know, it's gonna tell about what these apostles and elders, because you got spiritual scribes amongst them. You know, that's recording everything they went through, and the Spirit is not being written or jotted down, but it's written upon the tables of the mind.
That's right.
And the Spirit, these things get issued. Everybody's gonna hear about what the men of the Lord went through in New York and the kingdom to come in Dallas and Atlanta, where brothers had to, you know, the fight that brothers actually fought in the faith in times where, you know, the faith of men were low. That's going to be a hellified book, so to speak. So what you go through, just keep, you know, enduring, adding those badges to your spiritual accomplishments and enduring to the end, man.
That's right, bro.
It's some more on that, if not.
That was pretty much the point.
Yeah, so, yeah, I'm really pretty much good my way, too. So you good on it?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, so that's all we have for you, Akim. Hopefully, you brothers, you know, we're going to end it by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom Akim.
Shalom to the Akim on the comment.
And Shalom to you Akim too. Yahweh Shemi Awashar Barakatham. Keep pushing.